Hey everyone, so today I just wanted to talk about deliberate practice. There's two reasons why I wanted to talk about this. One was I had one of my younger clients in yesterday and we're just working on some box jumps, and he was just kind of going through the motion of jumping up onto the box but not jumping as high as he could. I contribute this a lot to just he's new to working out, so it's only about his third weekend. It was his first time coming in and just being exhausted from a long day at school. So I don't think he's had that chance to have to kind of just push through a workout, but still really try and stay focused. So we just talked about if he's doing his box jumps and he's just kind of jumping up high enough to get up to it, that it's not going to really fulfill too much. That we want to get more into that deliberate practice of really staying focused, trying to get his hips fully extended and really jumping as high as he could so we can improve his power output, and that leading to a faster club head speed. So the next thing I want to bring up is deliberate practice on the golf range. So when we're out there and we're hitting balls, like I go out, I see mostly adults just kind of, they grab their driver, they start swinging away, and they haven't even warmed up yet. So I think it's very important to talk about getting that deliberate practice and really staying focused during it. So I actually read an article about 6 months ago, and I was trying to find it so I could post it up with this newsletter, and I just wasn't able to. I probably spent a couple hours trying to find it, but I did find a pie graph of it, and it talked about the shots that we make and what percentage of different clubs we use throughout a round. With putting, we tend to use it 40% of the time. We have our wedges, which are used 20% of the time. Irons, we're going to use around 25% of the time, and the driver is 15% of the time during our round. With that, I then looked up what people feel is the most important stat in golf. So we have driving distance being 1%, according to just a poll of about 3,000 people. Driving accuracy hit 9%. Greens in regulation was a big one, so 53% of the people voting felt that that was the most important statistic. And then pretty close behind it at 37% was putting average, so how many putts per round. So then I think if we combine this with how often we use our clubs, so putting being 40%, wedges and irons being 20% and 25%, so ultimately adding up to 45%. We noticed that like the wedge game, the irons, and the putting are by far our most important part of the golf game. So what's going to help us get to those lower scores? So this is just kind of some food for thought and something I've been practicing for the last 4 months, because I don't have a lot of time to get out to the golf range. I probably get out there maybe 2 times a week, and then I play once, sometimes twice on the weekends. So something that's really helped me drop my scores is taking a look at how often I'm going to use each club and kind of arranging my practice around that. So when I go to the driving range and I'm practicing, I definitely have been using my irons and my wedges a lot more. I maybe hit 10 balls at the end with my driver. And one thing that's really helped me is I feel a lot more confident with my irons. So that was a part of my game where I really kind of struggled at the beginning, and I just never felt like I could get good contact with them. So that's helped a lot. And then I'm not able to do this as much at the driving range, but I've been practicing my putting a lot. So anytime I have some free time at the gym, I set up my putting mat on the rubber surface. That way then it's a little faster roll. And I'm just always working on my putting stroke. And I've definitely noticed a huge difference with that. So with this, I've just kind of flopped my practice to kind of match these percentages of how often I'm going to use my clubs. And I think it's something that's just helped me bring my scores lower and help me have more deliberate practice. That way then I can still improve my game, even though I can only get out once, twice a week to the driving range. So there's just some food for thought. I thought maybe you guys would enjoy this, some of these stats I was able to find. and also just a new thought on how maybe you could try practicing when you're out at the driving range and see if it makes a difference when it comes to your golf game. So let me know what your practice routines are like. Which club do you hit or practice on the most? Where do you find getting the most deliberate practice in during your driving range sessions helps you? And let me know how you're getting low scores. So I'll talk to you guys in about 2 weeks, and I hope everything's going well.